Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you
Staying
too.
warm.
Ish, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, I wanted to start by apologizing to you.
Oh, okay.
And our viewing public. I made a glib comment last week about President's Day, aka Washington's birthday, and I didn't give the name of the holiday the reverence it deserves. So I apologize. I apologize to the listening public who may have taken offense, and just generally, I was trying to be funny, and it was not the best joke. So I'm sorry.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Yep.
And then thank you also to everyone who showed up at mid-year budget review. Thank you to Max and Jane who put the presentation together, and the council for asking some really relevant questions. We got some good homework assignments for the upcoming meetings. And again, as you've said, this is a real opportunity for the public to get involved, to talk about priorities for funding for next fiscal year. So we're in the thick of budget season, so please get involved, call, write, ask questions. We're here to help. We really are. And then just a couple of other notes here. We're finishing up the agenda for the March 7th meeting. We're going to have an update from Ashley on Car Week. We're going to talk about San Carlos street improvements based on the public meeting we had last month or earlier this month. The days are blending together for me. Council priorities. So you and I worked on that yesterday, the day before. What we heard from the council on January 31st at the priority meeting. And then we're going to have a first look at a beach fire ordinance. So again, no decision, but based on the council direction from November, we're bringing back a draft ordinance for them to send to the Planning Commission. And then, so we definitely want your input on that. And then the last thing is I wanted to congratulate Janine Chicarat, First Lady of Carmel, and her hotel, the Portola Hotel and Spa at Monterey Bay, for the Monterey County Business Council's COVID Business Survival Award.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, her hotel did a free testing, not just for her employees, but it was open to the public. And so she's received the award. It'll be presented tonight at Spanish Bay. So congratulations.
Great. Congratulations. Yeah, very cool.
Well done. That's what I got.
Okay. My update's pretty much the same as last week, but it's really important stuff, so I want to keep putting it out there. We've got several big policy documents in draft out on the street right now, so I'll start with the design guidelines. We have our steering committee meeting next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Here in Chambers, and also you can participate via Zoom. The main focus of that meeting is going to be talking about the draft guidelines, commercial and residential, that have been out on the street now for a couple weeks. We're looking for feedback. We're at the point of the process of the bigger project of getting input on these drafts. So we're going to get input from our steering committee and the community members that come to that. And then in the not too distant future, we'll have a community-wide meeting like we've done before over at Sunset Center to get more feedback on those drafts. We'll get feedback from our planning commission and our city council, and then we'll do a redraft of that first draft. So there's still lots of time left to go. None of these are final drafts. We're really seeking feedback. We think we've synthesized and put in all the initial input that we got from those community meetings and from the steering committee. But there's no pride of ownership other than we're proud of the work we've done, but we're not, we can change things. Like, we're not going to take it personally. So if you think we missed something or it needs to be shifted around, I've already got some good feedback from folks, a lot of which I think is just spot on. So thank you for everyone that's written in or called in so far or come to meet with me. I'm happy to meet in person, grab a coffee, talk on the phone. I've had some people take me up on that already. So,
and to confirm, when you did some survey work at the beginning of the process, you talked about, I read something recently, but you talked about, you had a question about architectural schools and
like the style of architecture.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, we did a community survey a while back, and that's all available on our website. But one of the questions was, if a project or if a house basically is subordinate to the site, subordinate to the forest, mass and scale relevant to the surrounding structures, is the specific style really important? In other words, could any style of architecture be appropriate as long as the mass and scale and setback and all that stuff is controlled? And the overwhelming response from the public was yes in that survey. But yeah, so the drafts are out. Please take a look. If you can't get to them, let me know. We're going to link it again today in the Friday letter. If you only feel comfortable in paper copies, give me a shout. we'll try to get you a paper copy. Happy to help out however we can. We want a lot of feedback on this because they are not final drafts. We are going to make edits based on the feedback we get.
Great, thank you.
I don't need to blather on that anymore.
So these are final drafts?
These are not final drafts, Chip. Thank you. No more jokes. Draft wireless ordinance is also out on the street. That went out a little while ago, and we're having a March 15th workshop at 4:00 p.m. with the Planning Commission here in the chambers, of course, by Zoom as well. Another statement I'm going to make over and over again, not a final draft. This is a first draft. It's only a workshop, no decisions being made, no recommendations to City Council. We want to hear from the community. We partnered with Mr. Andrew Campanelli and our outside third-party counsel hired by the city to redraft the ordinance package based on feedback we received from a few months ago. We think we've incorporated the most, if not all, of the feedback that we could, but if you feel like we missed something or you want to maybe talk about phrasing something differently, that's what this workshop's all about. Edits to come, where we fully anticipate making a few edits based on what the feedback we get.
Yeah, and we did get, I did tell you, I met with a gentleman from, I think it's called Pollen Mobile, like the pollen.
Yeah.
And he represents a firm in the Bay Area that has an alternative to the typical big carrier
Interesting.
Antenna. So
well, hopefully they'll come and be involved in the conversation.
I invited him to, and his website's pretty interesting.
Great.
So.
And then the last big one I have is the housing element update that we're working on. This is in response to the state's requirement for planning for 349 new units in the city. We're having our housing ad hoc community meeting next week on the 28th. Tuesday, the 28th, 5:30 p.m. here in the chambers, also virtually. We, again, want people to come. I think the big overarching message with all these policy documents that are out there is that none of them are final right now. We really, really can't stress enough how much we want feedback. If there's a draft on the street and you don't like something, let us know. Give us some constructive feedback and we'll see what we can do about it.
Yeah. And so the ad hoc committee of council members Ferlito and Richards will be hosting that meeting, but we have noticed it, so everyone's invited.
Yeah.
Board and commission members, the rest of the council, everyone is invited to come, and it is a listening session. It's for discussion. The documents are not final because they're not drafted yet. So we're here to listen. And get
That's
your
a great point. Thank you. Yeah, all of the other city council members, planning commissioners, any other boards and commissions, we noticed it in such a way they can join as well. So we do hope to see them there too.
All right.
That's all I got.
Me too.
Okay.
Have a good weekend. Stay warm and dry.
You too.
Take good care.